Hello, my name is Donald Jenkins, student kinesiology 516, public relations, and I'm going to do a presentation on an example of a good and bad press release. Okay, so pretty much I'm going to start out with an article that I researched. It's from the Huffington Post. Um, the article is pretty much giving good examples or good tips on how to do a great press release. So the first example is you want to grab the attention of the reader with a good headline. Okay, so that's the beginning right there. You start out with a great headline, grab the attention of the reader, grab the attention of other people that want to comment or might want to write on the topic that you're discussing. You want to get right to the point in the first paragraph. You don't want this to be a long, drawn out, article or big chapter book, if you will. You want to get right to the point, let the readers know exactly what you're talking about in the first paragraph. And you want to just be short and precise and be able to get across what you're trying to do in a timely manner. You don't want it to be long and drawn out. You want to include hard numbers in your press release. So good research is always good. Great statistics, great numbers that are backing up what you're talking about. Of course, you want it to be grammatically correct, like any publication. Um, and I think one of the biggest things you want to include your contact information. And a lot of the press releases I was coming across, I wasn't finding any contact information on the authors that are writing. So I think that's a very important aspect of writing a press release. So now what I want to do is go ahead and go into examples of press releases that I found. Start with the good example and of course end with the bad example. Came across a lot of press releases. I had to kind of do a whole lot of research to find the correct one, but I think I finally narrowed it down. I was able to find the good ones, and now I'm going to go ahead and critique them for you. The first one comes from the President's Council on Fitness and Sports and Nutrition. Um, I like this press release because it was very informative. It followed a lot of the criteria that I just mentioned to you above about having a great press release. And, it kind of just spoke to me, as just having a great interest in the physical activity, as far as the youth and the public go. It's just one of those articles that speaks to that. Like I said, it came from the President's Council on Fitness and Sports and Nutrition. It's for immediate release. It has the date right below, the immediate release, and also has the contact information right there below. The head title, is the Secretary announces the launch of the National Foundation on Fitness, Sports, and Nutrition, an inaugural board of directors. So pretty much the President's Council is announcing this new board that they're forming for the launch of the National Foundation on Fitness, Sports, and Nutrition. And then that headline right there grabs the attention of readers because, of course, it's the inaugural announcement of this new board that's launching, that's going to start this new venture that's aiding in physical activity and nutrition and well-being of the public, especially dealing on a national level. So it seems like this board is going to have a large hand in a lot of the physical programs, a lot of physical activity programs, and a lot of community programs, and even have an influence and implementation in schools that we as physical educators will be teaching you. So, the article is not very lengthy. It kind of gets right to the point. It's only 2 pages long, maybe 4 or 5 paragraphs. It's grammatically, perfect. Of course, if it's a national publication, especially coming from the President's Council on Fitness, Sports, and Nutrition. It follows all the guidelines. There's contact information. The headline is attractive. It has the immediate release, so letting people know this is immediate, this is not delayed, this is the date that I'm putting out is exactly the date that it needs to be published. And it was just a really good publication. It got straight to the point. It gave me a little bit of statistics, not necessarily statistics, but had a lot of quotations giving a lot of information on what needed to be conveyed or what needed to come across in this article. If you guys want to check this article out, like I said, the website is the President's Council on Fitness, Sports, and Nutrition. The title of the article is HHS Secretary Sebelius announces the launch of the National Foundation on Fitness, Sports, and Nutrition in an inaugural board of directors. So if you guys want to go ahead and check that out, It's on the President's Council on Fitness, Sports, and Nutrition website. You guys can go see the article for yourselves. Now I want to talk about the article that I felt didn't do such a good job of holding up to the standards of what a good press release is. So this article came from the Prevention Agenda Towards the Healthiest State. So the title, for this heading where I found this article is Physical Activity and Nutrition. So right there, that title right there is very broad. It doesn't specifically cover what we're looking to talk about. It doesn't specifically tell me, what we're looking into. It's just physical activity and nutrition. That could be a whole slew of topics that, who's to say what exactly is going to be talked about. So that was strike number one. The heading wasn't, and the title was not, attractive. It didn't draw me in. It didn't make me want to really sit and look at, okay, what is this individual going to talk about? Strike number two was they did not get straight to the point in this article. This article goes on and on and on, and this press release is very long. Opposed to 2 pages, this press release is actually 11 pages. You can find it at health.gov. Like I said, it's health.gov, health.ny.gov, /prevention agenda /physical activity and nutrition. This is where you can find this article. Like I said, it's very long. It does give a lot of numbers, however, so it does follow some of the criteria that meet for a good press release. It does give a lot of statistics. One of the reasons why it's kind of long in length, but it's just too much. I mean, you have to really read through this article to really find out what it's talking about. The gist of it is it's dealing with the burden of physical inactivity and poor nutrition. So it's trying to show the correlation and the effects that go along with, physical inactivity and poor nutrition, the different health side effects and the different things that come along with it. However, it's just too long. This press release is very long. It's way too much into it. If you're just reading this and trying to get a little bit of information and they get a whole lot, that might almost kind of bore you and deter you away from this article altogether. Like I said, it's a lot of good information. It's just not formatted the correct way. So, like I mentioned before, in a good press release, you want to have a good headline. You want to get straight to the point in the first paragraph. You want it to be grammatically correct. You want to clearly convey to the audience what you're trying to tell them. But you want to do that in a short and timely manner. You don't want it to be longer drawn out. You don't want the reader to have to read through 11 pages of your article to try to figure out what you're talking about. Like I said, it's a lot of good information. It's not really conveyed in the correct way. So I'm going to go ahead and attach or post, if you will, the links to both of these articles so you guys can check them out. Like I said, it's a critique. The articles weren't bad. I just think it wasn't done in the correct way versus the first article that I showed you that was done in the correct way based off the standard of what a good press release is. I'm going to go ahead and, post the links so that you guys can check them out. Hope you guys enjoyed my presentation. All right. Thank you.